Welcome to Beyond the Paranormal, your gateway to the strange and unexplained. Explore the world of paranormal activity, parapsychology, cryptids, haunted locations, and mysteries. From ghostly encounters and supernatural investigations to legendary creatures hidden in the shadows, we uncover the stories that blur the line between science and the unknown. Monk Bretton Priory. Monk Bretton Priory is one of the most significant medieval monastic ruins in northern England. Located near Barnsley in South Yorkshire, the priory stands as a powerful reminder of the religious, political and social changes that shaped England from the Norman period through to the Tudor Reformation. Founded in the 12th century and later abandoned during the dissolution of the monasteries, Monk Bretton Priory has long been associated not only with medieval history but also with ghost stories and paranormal traditions. The surviving ruins, including sections of the cloister, chapter house, gatehouse, and church, offer insight into medieval monastic life and continue to attract historians, archaeologists, and paranormal investigators. Monk Bretton Priory was founded in approximately 1154 AD by Adam Fitzwain, a local landowner of Norman descent. Originally known as the Priory of St. Mary Magdalene of Lund, it was established as a Cluniac monastery, a branch of the Benedictine order which followed strict religious discipline and emphasised prayer, charity and manual labour. The priory was originally subordinate to the wealthy Cluniac house of Pontefract, meaning it was expected to answer to its mother house, both spiritually and financially. However, disputes quickly developed between the two institutions. These disputes included disagreements over authority, finances and independence. By 1281, after years of tension, Monk Bretton broke away from the Cluniac order and became a Benedictine priory. This transition granted the monks greater autonomy and allowed the priory to develop its own economic structure and landholdings. During the Middle Ages, monasteries were not only religious centres but also major economic institutions. Monk Bretton Priory owned land throughout South Yorkshire and controlled several parish churches. The monks were involved in agriculture as well as mining coal and ironstone, which were abundant in the Barnsley area. By the late 13th century, the priory typically housed around 13 monks and a prior. This relatively small community reflected the modest size of the institution compared to larger abbeys such as Fountains Abbey. Monasteries served many roles in medieval society: spiritual centres of prayer, providers of charity for the poor, landlords managing agricultural estates, centres of learning and manuscript preservation, hospitals and hostels for travellers. Despite these religious duties, historical records suggest that some priors at Monk Bretton Priory were accused of mismanagement, nepotism and excessive spending, illustrating the tensions between the religious ideals and human behaviour. One significant historical event linked to Monk Bretton Priory involved a land grant from Sir William de Norton in 1350. This donation supported the creation of the Chantry Chapel, where prayers would be said for the souls of the donor and the royal family. This act likely reflected the deep religious anxiety caused by the Black Death, which devastated England in the mid-14th century. Wealthy patrons often funded religious institutions in hopes of securing salvation. The priory's religious function came to an end in 1538 during the dissolution of the monasteries. King Henry VIII's break from the Roman Catholic Church resulted in the closure of monasteries across England. Religious houses were dissolved, their land confiscated, and their wealth transferred to the Crown. At the time of its closure, Monk Bretton still housed 13 monks and a prior, who were pensioned off following the suppression. After the dissolution, valuable stones were removed and reused in other buildings. Church bells and metal objects were melted down, parts of the structure were converted into a private residence, and the religious community ceased to exist. By the late 16th century, the site had been acquired by the Talbot family, who converted parts of the cloister into a country house. Following the Reformation, the ruins became part of the local landscape and influenced the development of Monk Bretton village. The surrounding settlement expanded significantly during the Industrial Revolution due to coal mining, transforming the once quiet religious landscape into an industrial region. Interest in Monk Bretton Priory revived during the 19th and 20th centuries as antiquarians and archaeologists began studying medieval monastic sites. Excavations in the 1920s and later investigations revealed foundations of the churches, cloister layout, burial slabs, and evidence of monastic buildings. Today, the priory is protected as a scheduled ancient monument and a Grade 1 listed structure under the care of English Heritage. Like many medieval religious ruins, Monk Bretton Priory has developed a reputation as a haunted location. Ruined monasteries often inspire ghost stories due to their age, religious association, and atmosphere. Visitors and paranormal enthusiasts have reported sightings of a shadowy monk-like figure often seen moving silently among the ruins or near the cloister area, usually seen at dusk or night. Feelings of being watched and a sudden uneasy feeling of anxiety. Unexplained cold spots, particularly near the chapter house foundation, along the cloister walkways and close to the former church site. Strange sounds within the ruins, which have included a faint footsteps on stones, distant voices resembling chanting, and unexplained movements captured in photographs. Some paranormal investigators believe residual energy may remain from centuries of prayer, death, and social upheaval. A commonly repeated theme in folklore surrounding monastic ruins is the appearance of hooded monks, often interpreted as spirits unable to find rest following the violent upheaval of the dissolution. Historians and psychologists suggest several reasons why medieval ruins attract ghost stories, such as atmospheric architecture creates unease, association with death and burial grounds, historical trauma such as the dissolution and religious conflict, the human tendency to mythologize ancient places, and local oral tradition passed through generations. The quiet, isolated setting described in historical records would have reinforced the sense of mystery even in medieval times. Yorkshire has a strong folklore tradition involving monks, abbeys, and haunted religious sites. Stories of monks appearing in spectral form are common in English ghost lore, often symbolising unfinished duties or unresolved guilt due to the historical upheaval. While Monk Bretton Priory does not have a single famous documented haunting comparable to some UK sites, its long history and dramatic dissolution contribute to its reputation as a location of paranormal interest. Today, Monk Bretton Priory serves multiple roles: an archaeological site, an heritage monument, an education resource, local historical landmark, and an inspiration for folklore and paranormal investigations. Despite damage from time and vandalism, preservation efforts continue in order to maintain the site for future generations. Monk Bretton Priory represents nearly 900 years of English history, from its foundation in the 12th century through to its dissolution under Henry VIII. The site reflects religious devotion, political change, and economic development in medieval England. Its ruins offer insight into monastic daily life, medieval architecture, and the dramatic transformation of England during the Reformation. At the same time, the Priory's atmosphere and long history have inspired stories of ghosts and paranormal phenomenon, adding an additional layer of intrigue. Whether approached as an archaeological treasure or an haunted ruin, Monk Bretton Priory continues to fascinate historians, visitors, and paranormal enthusiasts. You've been watching Beyond the Paranormal. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to like, comment and subscribe for more videos on the paranormal, haunted locations, cryptids and many more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.